Okay, so I just finished watching Murder Party, and oh man, what a trip! What a trip! I was originally going to be talking about. I think I was going to talk about one of the Batman, the Wave 10 Batman tonight, and possibly respond to somebody else's thing with it. But like I said, just finished watching this. This is an incredibly twisted movie. In case anybody hasn't seen it yet, which I assume is probably a lot of people, because was an indie film, never had a theater release, but this movie deserves something. Basically, it's about this dildo here. By the way, everybody in the film, I guess, made to cut down profanity or whatever, refers to everybody else as a dildo, so I'm just gonna do that throughout the review. But so this dude right here ends up he's this complete loser. He ends up walking home. Where was I? So yeah, this guy is later revealed is, just this loser who lives at home with his cat. Nothing against cats, by the way. Cats are pretty cool. But as he's walking home, he stops, he notices this little piece of paper on the ground. He picks it up, unfurls it, and it's an invitation to a party. It's called a murder party. That just gives an address and stuff. So he's goes home. He puts in a tape and stuff, and then he decides he finally wants to just go out and he wants to go to this party, for a little bit of excitement. So he gets there, and then of course, shortly after he gets there, everybody's a little bit surprised that somebody actually showed up. There's a whole bunch of people there doing coke and all sorts of other crap, but within minutes the guy's tied up, bound in that chair there, and they're discussing how they're going to murder him for their art. It's a group of wacky artists who are up to no good and are trying to find the ultimate mode of, expression so they can score a grant from this one guy. But now, although it really, I like this film for so many reasons, but first of all, it really pokes fun at all the pretentiousness of all these art people who are all lovey-dovey to each other's faces, and the moment their backs turn, they send one guy out to check on the dog, and then this one guy goes, "So what do you really think of his painting?" And they're all just standing there just mocking him and laughing and stuff. But artists are just such an easy group to parody just because they have such a reputation for being out there and on the edge. So just the fact that they're completely detached from reality, and a few of them think that they're actually going to use this murder to really launch their careers and so forth, which is actually a little bit creative. And the fact that it really is something that might eventually fall under the realm of art if you think abstract enough, just because people are continually stretching for new ways to express and innovate and so forth, and what sort of limits are there anymore? We have elephants painting with dung and stuff, and that's art, and it's just a completely wacky fun idea. But plus, if you look at it from an allegorical sense, here we have this little plebeian who's going to this world and stuff, and he's living this drab, mundane existence, and he's trying to look at art for it's like walking to a gallery almost, he's being assaulted in all places, and if you look at it in metaphorical terms, each one of these guys are kind of trying to destroy him and his sense of the world and his sense of reality and pull them into their own. So, which I thought was a really cool touch. But at the same time, all these guys are just such banal little boys and girls who have really confused gender identity issues and so forth, and are constantly questioning themselves and really hate what the entire industry does to them. One comments the fact that they criticize one person because they feel that he might actually have talent, and they grow up to resent and hate them for it, which is just such a crazy idea there. When I was younger, I used to write actually, I think I was writing up until sometime mid-college. I think it was college that actually did it too, because when you're going through all this stuff and you start to examine the art and examine what you're going through, it really takes a lot of the joy out of it, and I guess that's one of the sentiments that it's trying to express. But to an outside person, like a lot of stuff like art and so forth would just look completely insane, just like what this guy completely walked into. It's actually funny too, because one of the first things they say, like when they're deciding, like some of them want to let him go and so forth, but they're all like, whoever walks into a murder party, like sees an invitation, says murder party, and decides to go there, deserves to die. Which I thought was just it was a completely clever line and so forth. Just the fact that I don't know. I guess there's like a sort of expectation nowadays where like you see something and you just assume that you go there, it'll be safe and so forth, and everything's just got a certain layer of stuff. But there's just sinister underbelly to most things. Walking in, eyes wide open, and all that. Very creative movie on the whole. I mean, it's like a work of art in and of itself, just the way it analyzes all this stuff, and you get the sense of like what really drives a lot of people, and I don't know. But I say it's art because when you see this film, I'm sure there are a lot of really mixed reactions. Everybody has a different takeaway, different interpretation, so forth. But I mean, on the whole, it's a great movie. It's a pretty entertaining movie. They've got a lot of great dialogue, just hilarious stuff. A lot of twists beyond the basic murder party and so forth. Just some really creative ideas, some more creative than others. I mean, some you'd half expect would or wouldn't happen, but... Oh, and there is a fair amount of gore, so people are into that. Will get their fill. I mean, it will look a little bit hokey just because they were working on a low budget. And a lot of the effects are done more for humor than for, just straight up gore, but some really cool stuff, some real hilarity now and then. I would, on a whole, totally recommend this film. I think everybody should check it out, but I'd say it's more of a rent than a buy. I mean, something you'll definitely want to see once, but I don't know if you'll like to see it again and again. I mean, the early scenes, they've got like a lot of great effects. There's a lot of suspense building, but for a large portion of the film, this guy is basically sitting in a chair, and he's not like escaping or anything. You're just watching everybody else's interactions with each other and their interactions with him and what they're planning and so forth. Which, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on besides what he's directly involved in. So it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but like when he's running and trying to escape, you've got your blood pumping and so forth, but when he's just usually bound up, half the times like the suspense kind of fades and you just get caught up more in the hokiness and the comedy of all this stuff. But yeah, definitely check it out.